Okay, so I am clean enough as it is. Let's just jump into it. I've seen so many in the last couple weeks about the NHL season is over. It's done. Florida is you're Stanley Cup champions. We're seeing so many things about the news about the free agents market is blowing up. Where's Connor McDavid going to go if he signs an extension? People are wondering, jumping all this and that. Also seems like the Vegas Golden Knights can't keep their nose out of everything because they just made a deal to get Mitch Marner, and Marner immediately signs an 8-year, $96 million deal. We don't know if that's going to make or break anything, but Vegas is not going anywhere, and the Western and that Pacific Division is weak as heck. So it's basically right now in that division a race between them and Los Angeles, and LA actually kind of got a little bit better, but they also need to start thinking about their future. And it's basically a two-horse race in the Pacific. So all this talk in the NHL is just going on, just like the NBA. And the NBA is a bunch, in my opinion, feels like a bunch of garbage until the KD trade happens. And if LeBron's going to get dealt, and Dallas just seems like they get God handed to them. They win that draft lottery and they get Cooper Flag. Let's just put it this way. The NBA draft, the first 3, 4, 5 picks, interesting. The rest, you don't know a soul, especially when you get older. NHL is about the same thing. You get the first 2, 3, or 4, 5 guys, and then you got to start thinking about, can these guys develop in the farm system? Well, there's so much in the NHL that can get dealt with in every way, shape, or form. Free agency, the draft is up. People are getting on the Penguins. Well, not necessarily hardcore. They probably got about a B plus type of a draft, because they had about 10, 11 picks in the draft. They even traded some to get some more picks and got the youth that they needed to secure their future. Simply enough as it is, they have to get younger. They're going to be a little bit better. They did get some pieces in free agency, but the point is, from what we're told, as far as the Penguins, nobody wants Chris Letang and nobody wanted to take Tristan Jarry's contract. So we'll see what happens down the road as I do this video. With that in mind, I watched Gary Bettman because he says he's going to retire, and he's pretty happy Florida won the Stanley Cup back-to-back, because he says Alexander Barkov, let's do it again. And the Florida Panthers pretty much are brought back 11 of their players, and that team is looking like, as I've said in numerous videos, a problem. That might be the way you have to start building a franchise. You do some moves a couple years beforehand, and then you put together what pretty much is not necessarily what happened in 2024-25 when they went 7 with the Edmonton. They had the same team, but then they did make a couple moves this year in the trade deadline, and they did not win the division. But as I said before, from game 4 of the Leafs series is when they started literally becoming bully hockey. And even some of the players have already said, you don't like the way we play, beat us. We haven't done anything wrong, and they're really not. It's just a very aggressive game plan by Paul Maurice, and many people have already bought into it. Sam Bennett, Verhaeghe. They brought Brad Marchand back 3 more years. They bought the big defenseman that they got. He signed him 6-7 years. Most of these guys are coming back, and they are coming back to be the next bully of the NHL. If you thought Tampa was rough during the pandemic years and their back-to-back season, Florida's not going anywhere, people. They're not going out. They're not leaving anywhere. So we wish everybody the best of luck trying to deal with the Florida Panthers and their style of play. And there's not a damn thing you can say about it, because everybody likes Paul Maurice, and that's just a thing of how they put these teams together. Now, I will throw this out there real quick, because we're talking hockey. We got to talk about something. There's not much going in summertime. You're dealing with baseball, and you're dealing with all the big things that are going on. But at the same time, you know, I saw a thing. I saw a thing, and I watched Brody Brazil's page on YouTube, and he is a phenomenal journalist and YouTube sports analyst in the Bay Area, and he does a phenomenal job. I recommend watching his stuff. He had to deal with all the Arizona BS. He had to deal with all the stuff that happened with the Oakland A's moving. he brought a very interesting point that if they're talking about expansion and Gary Bettman is saying we don't have any applications right now, I'd start thinking about it, because I don't want to hear anything about the league's going to thin out the talent. There's a ton of talent now. At this day and age, in 2025, going to 26, with all the young talent all over the world, there's enough talent to go around to expand NHL to 32 to 36 teams. You're not going to do it overnight, but I would suggest probably in 26, 27, I legitimately would start thinking about the news that you hear that Atlanta is on the doorstep. They have the land, they've got buyers, they've got promoters, they've got the land ready to go, and $2 billion as an expansion fee. I remember doing a video like last year when I started the channel that you have a $500,000 in your bank account, you too can have an NHL team. You too can have a team. Now it's $2 billion, maybe even one for now, but it might be two later. So we're already knowing the next two teams, next two cities that probably could be shoo-ins is Atlanta and Houston. If Houston just picks the phone up and just dials in and says, hey, we have Toyota Center ready to go, we just need a buyer. And there's a couple people that are thinking about it. There's one of the owners for the Houston Dynamo or looking to put something in. Atlanta and Houston, which in my opinion would be the Thrashers, and I think you'd bring the Houston Aeros back, are shoo-ins for 33 and 34. I would think about doing that 26 and 27. 2026-27, you would have buildings. And now Atlanta wants their own building. So what I would do is I would put the freaking shovel in the ground now, play in State Farm Arena where the Hawks play for a couple of years, and then you'd have your own building down the road. Houston, they're going to show the Toyota. It's a fourth, fifth biggest sports market in the U.S. Atlanta, Houston are shoo-ins. After that, it's a crapshoot for not doing it in 2027 or 28, but I was sincerely thinking maybe 28 in 2028, 29. If Arizona can get a buyer or get some people together and they find land, then the Coyotes can come back, which is what a lot of people want. But then you got all these other cities. Quebec City. I hear people, and I had somebody put a comment in saying it's not financially structured and it just wouldn't suit right now. And I get that. But it would just be a home run to bring an 8th NHL team to Canada. You're not going to put it in Saskatchewan or Hamilton or anything like that. Like Hamilton's coming back in the AHL, but Quebec has a 17,000 seat arena where the Quebec Red Par play for Quebec Junior Hockey League. It's ready to go. And if not, the women's league, the PWHL, is going to snatch Quebec like that, and they will sell out every single game. So I don't know who else you want to put. There's too many names. Brody Brazil read a report about, Atlanta, Houston's at the door, and then you got these dark horses, Indianapolis, New Orleans, and hear me out, Austin, Texas. Now, I'll shoot my shot here, and then I'm going to shut the bar down. Indianapolis isn't a bad idea, but you're close to Chicago, you're close to Columbus, but you need a hockey arena, and the arena and they use for the Pacers is not built for hockey, and the closest one they have is only 7,500 seats. You have a long way to go to get one in Indianapolis. New Orleans, I've never looked at as an NHL market. You play the same way you play in the Smoothie Center where the Pelicans play. I just never looked at them as an NHL market. You can try it. I'll believe it when I see it. And Austin, Texas, they were saying Austin would have their first one. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. They have MLS, and it thrives in Austin, Texas. Plus, Austin is a very, very huge millennial population. A lot of businesses, a lot of major companies work in Austin, Texas. It's not just University of Texas, but they have a lot of that going on. So I don't know if Austin, Texas would be thriving yet, but I immediately am going to say put Atlanta, Houston 1 and 2. I'm sorry. I'm going to continue to put my foot in the door and put my vote in to get Quebec back into the league. But after that, you throw what you want. You want to get Arizona back? Great. I'm here in Cincinnati. They needed all their buildings old. I'm here in Milwaukee. I'm Hartford's too small of a market. Guys, what do we have left to go? Throw your comments in. Who do you want? Who do you don't want? And let's just call it what it is. I've done what I had to do, did the stuff what I needed to say, and let's just be done with it. NHL, you can expand to 36, 4 divisions of 9 teams. It's do the math. You'll grow the game. I don't want to hear any of this crap. Let's move on and let's get this done. Faster you get it done, faster the hockey community, do not even have to bark about any of this stuff ever again.